My girlfriend locked all my male clothes away. I'll never forget the moment my girlfriend locked my wardrobe and said, "You're not wearing men's clothes today." My sister's wedding was in a few hours, and every piece of who I used to be was suddenly out of reach. Let me tell you who I was before that lock clicked shut. I was 26, the normal guy everyone expected me to be. Quiet, responsible, the one who never caused trouble, never stood out. On the outside, I fit perfectly. On the inside, I was always negotiating with myself. My feelings about cross-dressing didn't arrive suddenly. They crept in slowly. The first time was years ago, alone at home, heart pounding, trying on something that wasn't meant for me. I remember thinking it would feel wrong. It didn't. It felt calm, honest, like my breathing finally matched my body. Of course, I buried it. Told myself it was a phase, a secret curiosity, something I could control if I tried hard enough. And for a long time I did. Or, at least, I pretended to. But my sister's wedding made everything heavier. This wasn't just another day. This was family, photographs, memories that would last forever. And suddenly I was asking myself a question I'd avoided for years. Which version of me is going to exist in those memories? Have you ever stood at the edge of something, knowing once you step forward there's no stepping back? Drop a comment if you've ever felt that pressure building inside you. I sat on the bed staring at my phone, not scrolling, not texting, just holding it like it could ground me. Outside the room, I could hear wedding preparations, laughter, footsteps, music drifting down the hallway. Life moving forward, whether I was ready or not. My girlfriend stood near the cupboard, arms crossed, watching me think myself in circles. "Say something," she said. I opened my mouth, closed it again. What could I say? That I was terrified? That part of me wanted to run, grab my jeans, and disappear into the version of myself everyone was comfortable with? And yet, another part of me was tired. Tired of hiding. Tired of choosing safety over honesty. She walked over and sat beside me. "You always say you wish you were braver," she said quietly. "This isn't punishment. This is a choice." A choice. That word hit harder than fear. My heart was racing. My palms were sweaty. I kept imagining my family's faces, the whispers, the stares. Shame tried to take control, but excitement slipped in right behind it, uninvited and undeniable. What if I didn't back out this time? I nodded. Just once. Small. Almost invisible. She stood up, reached for the key, and locked away my last escape. The click echoed in my chest. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. She didn't rush me. That's what made it harder. Instead of throwing clothes at me or turning it into a joke, my girlfriend moved slowly, deliberately, like this moment mattered. Like I mattered. She pulled a garment bag from behind the door. I hadn't noticed it before. My stomach tightened.
"Sit," she said gently.
The chair felt cold under me. My knees were bouncing and I couldn't stop them. She started with makeup, explaining each step even though I barely heard her words. Foundation first. My skin felt smoother, unfamiliar. Concealer next, erasing shadows I'd carried for years. When she leaned in to do my eyes, I held my breath without realizing it. I messed up the eyeliner. A thick, uneven line. I panicked. "I can't do this," I blurted out. She smiled, wiped it away, and said, "Nobody gets it right the first time." Something about that hit deeper than makeup. Then came the clothes. The fabric slid over my skin, light and soft. Not costume soft. Comfort soft. My hands trembled as I adjusted it, afraid to look down, afraid of how real it felt. When I finally stood up, my body moved differently, without instruction, without effort. The heels were chaos. I nearly fell. We both laughed, loud and nervous, and for a moment the fear loosened its grip. I caught my reflection in the mirror by accident. Just a glimpse. And suddenly my chest felt tight. Then she stepped back, looked at me fully, and said in a voice barely above a whisper, "You look beautiful." That's when everything changed. I turned back to the mirror, slowly this time, like I was afraid I might scare the reflection away. For a second, my mind tried to reject it. That's not you. But my body didn't agree. My face looked softer. My eyes clearer. There was fear there, yes, but also something I hadn't expected, relief. Like I'd been holding my breath for years and only just noticed. My hands hovered in the air, unsure where they belonged. I smoothed the fabric over my hips, feeling how it moved when I shifted my weight. Every sensation was amplified. The gentle pressure of the dress, the unfamiliar balance of the heels, the faint scent of makeup. Walking felt awkward at first. Too careful. Too stiff. Then, little by little, my steps relaxed. My shoulders dropped. My posture changed without me telling it to. It wasn't an act. It was instinct. Inside my head, the thoughts wouldn't stop. What if someone laughs? What if my sister sees me like this? What if I actually like this too much? That last thought scared me the most. My girlfriend watched quietly, then asked, "How do you feel?" I opened my mouth to answer, and nothing came out. Because the truth was complicated. I felt exposed, vulnerable, terrified. But underneath all of that, I felt real. I took a deep breath, adjusted the strap on my shoulder, and told myself I was ready. I wasn't. Because the moment I stepped toward the door, my phone buzzed with a message that made my stomach drop. And suddenly, everything was about to be tested. The message was from my sister. "We're about to start. Where are you?" My heart slammed against my ribs. This was it. No more mirrors. No more practice steps. Just the world, family, relatives, strangers, all waiting on the other side of that door. I looked at my girlfriend. She nodded, not pushing, not pulling.
Just there.
We walked out together. The hallway felt longer than it ever had. Every step echoed. Every sound felt louder. I kept expecting someone to stop me, to question me, to laugh. No one did. When we reached the venue, conversations dipped. Not silence, just a shift. Curious glances. Double takes. A few raised eyebrows. Then something unexpected happened. No one said anything. An aunt smiled. Someone complimented my outfit. A cousin asked if I needed help finding a seat, using she without hesitation. My brain struggled to keep up. And then I saw my sister. She turned, looked straight at me, and froze. For half a second, I thought this was the moment everything would fall apart. Then her face softened. She walked over, took my hands, and said, "You came." That was it. No anger. No questions. Just acceptance, raw and simple. I laughed, too loud, too sudden, and felt tears spill before I could stop them. Embarrassing? Maybe. But real. There was one awkward moment, of course. Someone whispered. Someone stared a little too long. I nearly retreated into myself. But then my sister squeezed my hands and said, "Stay with me." And I did. What happened next shocked me to my core, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't pretending anymore. Have you ever had a moment where fear just lets go? Tell me, what would you have done in my place? The wedding ended the way weddings do, with music, laughter, exhaustion. But I wasn't the same person walking out as the one who'd walked in. In the car, I finally let myself breathe. The adrenaline faded, leaving behind something quieter, stronger. I learned that courage isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. Sometimes it's just staying when every instinct tells you to hide. Cross-dressing wasn't the point. Transformation wasn't the point. Acceptance was. Not from others, but from myself. If you're listening to this and hiding who you really are, remember this. Your fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're standing near something true. This journey gave me freedom. Not answers to everything, but permission to keep discovering. And if you want to hear what happened next, how this changed my relationship, my identity, my life, let me know. Maybe there's a part 2 waiting. Because your story matters. Your truth matters. You matter. I thought the wedding was the end of it. One brave day. One locked wardrobe. One secret finally lived out. I was wrong. Because when we got home that night, my girlfriend unlocked the cupboard, and I realized I didn't want my old clothes back. What happened after that, the conversations, the boundaries, the consequences, changed my relationship, my identity, and the direction of my life in ways I never saw coming. If you want part 2, where I talk about what my family said after the wedding, how my girlfriend's feelings really changed, and the decision that forced me to choose who I was going to be permanently, then tell me. And ask yourself this: if you finally tasted freedom, would you ever want to go back?